Welcome back, everybody. I want to talk about fetchlands today. Seems to be a popular topic here all of a sudden because, of course, we know the Secret Lair Ultimate is coming out, which is just one of each of the 5 fetchlands. Yeah. So, here's the thing with that. So, as you can see, I've got a few different fetchlands here. I've got some original Onslaught ones that were still in my deck that I kept when I sold my collection. I kept a couple decks, and one of them had a bunch of fetchlands in it. So I lucked out, and I still have a bunch of the original Onslaught ones. Now, there is a little bit of a, there's price difference between the older original Onslaught ones and then the new Khans of Tarkir ones, obviously. For instance, the Khans of Tarkir Windswept Heath, when I scanned it right before this video, came up about $12.50, right? And the original Onslaught Windswept Heath came up at $21 and $21.50, I think. Now, obviously, same name, same ability, different artwork, different year. The reason that this one's so much more expensive is because, obviously, there was a whole lot less of these printed than there was of these printed. Alright, so that makes perfect sense. There's a whole lot more of these, so they're easier to get. But at the end of the day, they're both the same card. There's really no difference between them, except for age and, coolness factor of having the original ones, I guess. But, so, a $12 fetch land, although it's a little bit pricey, I can totally see it, I mean, I have no problem with a $12 fetch land, and I understand the premium for having the older one, making it more expensive. So a $21 fetch land, it doesn't suck to have to pay $100 to $150 for a set of 4 fetch lands for your deck. Yes, obviously that's miserable. So I'm glad that they reprinted them in Khans, so there's a lesser expensive alternative for the people that don't care about the glory of having the originals. They just need the lands to play with. To be honest, if I needed them for my deck bad enough, I would swap 2 for 1 all day long, no problem. So I could get more, because they do the exact same thing. They're the same name, they do the same thing. I care more about function than form. A lot of people don't, but I care more about function than form. So, how much is a fetch land really worth, though? Because, I'm seeing, apparently, Star City Games is asking $350 for the 5 fetchland Secret Lair. Oh, but wait, it gets better. Let's close that tab. TCG Player is asking $415 to $450 for the fetchland Secret Lair. That's 5 fetchlands. That's almost $100 a card. These are printed probably every bit as much as these. There's probably going to be at least 10,000 of those. I think at the very least there's going to be probably 10 to 15,000 of those printed with those Secret Lairs. Wizards told us they were going to be about $165 start at. I thought that was ridiculous for 5 fetch lands because they really shouldn't have much more value than the Khans ones. In fact, they should have less because they're a newer printing. And there's going to be tons of them. So, personally, I don't think they should be worth as much as the Khans fetch lands. I mean, I think they're going to be foil. And I understand the logic. Like this Onslaught Bloodstained Mire is worth like $37. This foil Bloodstained Mire is worth $320 something. But the reason is, these were very hard to get. Foils back then were like 1 in 100 cards to get a foil at all. Obviously, you see they're much better foiling than a modern foil as well. They don't warp as bad either. So, these are very rare. There's not very many of these on the planet. That's why $320 is, in my opinion, not too unreasonable for one of these. I mean, it's a little bit crazy, but anybody want to buy one? I'll sell it. Anyway, so, how much should you pay for these fetch lands? Personally, I don't think you should pay $160. If you pay $450, more power to you. You got more money than brains. I mean, I don't mean to be insulting, but there's no way you should pay $450 for these fetchlands. If you should not, period, pay even close to that. $350 is absolutely ludicrous. I mean, $160, in my opinion, was ludicrous. I was baffled at that. You want fetchlands? This right here is the Origins Armed and Dangerous deck. If you watch my opening, I did an opening on this because when I found out what was in these, I bought a whole case of them. So I think I've got like 6 of them or something like that, still sealed. So this deck, which you can pick up for around, I think, $30, $30 to $40, I think, on eBay still, has 2 Windswept Heaths. These are out of that deck that I opened of these, and a collected company to boot, and there's like 4 or 5 other like cards that are over $3 or $4 in there. So there's 2 Windswept Heaths and a Coco in here. Buy these. This makes more sense. I mean, yes, there are Windswept Heaths. This is the only option that they come with. They didn't come with any of the other ones, so I know this only works for forests or plains, but you know, you can get these Cons fetchlands for, you know, 12 to 20 bucks a piece. Buy the Cons fetchlands. Don't buy into the secret lair greed. I mean, this is absolutely ridiculous. Do not pay $400 for this secret lair. I wouldn't recommend paying $160 for the secret lair. I think it's absolutely it's just highway robbery. I mean, there's no way around it. It's ridiculous. You only get 1 of each of the fetchlands. You'd have to buy 4 of these to have a play set of each one. And that's only 5 of the fetchlands. There's another 5 out there. You got the enemy fetches too. So I just wanted to kind of say, you know, just really think about this for a second. Don't get caught up in the FOMO. Don't get caught up in the shiny new object that Wizards is dangling in front of your face. This is a pure blatant scam. Now, Wizards has done some really cool things during this whole process to help out the local game stores. And I like the fact that they are sending these to the local game stores, but I don't like the way they did it with the limited amount going to the stores. It really should have been a purchase to order or print to order thing. They really should have printed however many were ordered, kept it at that $165 or whatever. I could see, especially I think they might be foil. If they're foil, I could see $160. People paying $165 for them. Sure, go ahead. If you got the cash, go for it. I would never do it. There's no way I'd pay $165 for 5 cards. Not in a million years, especially not from Wizards, who we know doesn't pay more than a few cents to print one of these cards. This card costs them no more to print than this card. I mean, seriously. A card's a card. That doesn't cost them any money to print them. So I think it's really shady how they did this whole secret lair ultimate. And they said they're going to print fetchlands again before the end of 2020. I'm saying let's just err on the side of caution. Take the gamble and hope that they reprint them like I'm hoping in Modern Horizons 2 they reprint the enemy ones, or the friendly one. I forget. I don't remember which one they're printing in this ultimate thing. Hopefully they'll print the other ones in that in either Modern Horizons 2 or some kind of Masters set that they do later this year. They might do a Pioneer Masters later this year that might print them. I don't know. I don't want people wasting their money on this. This is ridiculous. Don't spend $350 to $450 on 5 fetchlands. You can get them cheaper. They don't function any better if they're foil or if they're non-foil. I will sell this all day long or trade it for a ton of these all day long because I don't care that it's shiny. I care that they work. We all need fetchlands for decks to be really super competitive. I mean, there's no way around it. Wizards knows that, and they're using that to their advantage to make a buttload of money off of this ultimate secret lair here. You know, they've done some good things here recently, so I'm not trying to bash them too much, but I really can't help it. This is obscene. $350 to $450 for one of these is absolutely obscene. go to your local game store, call your local game store, see if they're going to do a reasonable price on them if you really have to have them. But don't pay that much for them. That's unbelievable. As we've seen with the other secret lairs, they're going to be on eBay for half of that a month after they're released anyway. People are going to buy a bunch of these. Game stores are going to buy a bunch of these, and if they don't sell them right away, they're going to try and hold on to them to make a bunch of money, and they're going to realize they're not going to go up. They're actually going to plummet, and they're going to get desperate, and they're going to sell them. Hold on to your money. Buy some. If you want some windswept heaths, go buy these Magic Origins 2-player Clash Pack Armed and Dangerous. There's 2 of them in this box for less than, I mean, I think you can get these for $30 to $40 still. I got these for, I bought the whole case of them, so I got them really cheap. I think I might have paid like 20 bucks for them or something. No, I'm not selling them. I'm going to hold on to them because I'm going to need the fetchlands for myself. But yeah, it's watch my video of opening that. There's two windswept heaths and a collected company and a whole bunch of other good cards in that deck. Buy that. Buy a bunch of those. Don't waste your money. You can trade the windswept heaths for, 2 for 1 for the fetchlands you do need and still make out like a bandit. I mean, it's ridiculous. There's absolutely no reason these secret lair ultimates should be selling for $300+. It's obscene. I just wanted to kind of rant about that for a few minutes there. Good news coming up is they are going to have actual player drafts starting with the release of Ikoria this weekend on Arena, which will be awesome. You don't have to draft against bots, and because the bots just do nothing but rare drafts, so you can't get enough rares to build up your collection. Hopefully the players will be grabbing cards that actually matter and not just grabbing all the rares, and you can actually, if you're trying to build up your collection by drafting, you can actually get a couple more rares this time around. Or you can, actually compete against real players and make it more like a real local game store draft, in this time when we can't actually go to our local game store and do draft, which is kind of killing me. I gotta admit, I really wish I could go do drafts right now. But anyways, leave me a comment. Let me know what you think, honestly, fetchlands are worth or should be worth. Personally, I think they should reprint them a few more times. I think they should reprint them like every year or two. I think they should reprint them. Every couple of years, they should reprint them in a set. Maybe skip back and forth, print the friendly fetchlands, then 2 years later, print the enemy fetches, 2 years later, print the friendly ones, We don't want to flood the market with them, obviously, because, they are a valuable card, and they should stay valuable. But we also want players to be able to get their hands on them without breaking the bank. I mean, if you take out the mana base on most of the popular decks in pretty much any format, if you take out the fetchlands, it drops the price of the deck several $100s. The fetchlands are one of the most expensive things in the decks. Fetchlands and dual lands. I think they should reprint duels. I don't think they ever should have stopped reprinting the duels. I was shocked when they stopped reprinting them because we didn't think they were powerful back in the revised days when we all had dual lands in every deck. We literally did not think they were that powerful. They were only a couple dollars back then when they were still in print because it was just it was just part of the game. It was just mana based. I mean, we could only run 4 of them, so they weren't too powerful. If we could run 20 dual lands in a deck, that would have been a little too powerful. But only 4 in your deck. I mean, when fetchlands came out, we were jumping up and down about fetchlands because that would get us to those 4 dual lands in our deck much, much faster, and we didn't mind paying a couple life to get to them. So fetchlands were huge just because they, dual lands were restricted to 4. Fetchlands gave us an opportunity to get more than 4 dual lands in our deck, basically, and cycle through the deck faster so you could get the cards you wanted. So, I love fetchlands, but I really think they shouldn't be so restricted by Wizards. I think Wizards really needs to print them more and not try to charge $400 for one of each. That is obscene. It's ludicrous. I'm actually offended by it. I mean, and I think every Magic player out there should be offended by this. I mean, this is uncalled for. Nobody should pay these prices. If everybody just doesn't buy them, the people will have to lower the prices if they're not selling. They're paying probably $150 from wotc for these, and they're trying to sell them for $450. I know times are tough and these stores need their money, but come on. That's a bit extreme. We don't need to go that drastic. I mean, they're getting free mystery boosters, and we're all still going to pay 100 to 150 probably a box for those mystery boosters and not have a problem with it. I don't have a problem with it at all. If I can get more mystery boosters from my local game stores for $100, I'll buy as many as they'll sell me. So, and I'm glad that they're going to make $100 a box on them. $150 a box, it's kind of asking too much, you know. But we'll see what happens with all that. We'll see what it unfolds. I've heard some local game stores are already getting the mystery booster box reprint. So let me know in the comments if your LGS has gotten them. If you know of an LGS that's got some, let me know. I'll hit them up and I'll pay them to ship them to me because I want to get my hands on more of those. So let me know what's going on in the comments. Let me know what you think the value of fetchlands are. Don't buy into the hype and don't buy this $400 secret lair. This is ridiculous. Even $300 is absolutely ridiculous for 5 fetchlands, 1 of each color. Absolutely ridiculous. Please don't do it. Don't waste your money like that. Hold on to your money. You can, you know, they're going to reprint them again. They have to. They have to figure out how to get more fetchlands in the market because the players absolutely need them. You know, there's no way around it. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know in the comments what you think. What's a fetchland really worth? I mean, let's be honest. What are they honestly worth? Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. Check out a couple other videos while you're here, please. It means the world to me. And you guys have a great day. Bye.